welcome everyone to the Encode Algorand Hack Finale event. This is the kind of culmination of a 10-week hackathon, or 8-week hackathon that's been going on over the last 2 months. We've had some fantastic participation, we've had some workshops, and we are also, I'm going to share my screen actually. And yeah, we're now fantastically at the end of the hackathon, and we'll soon be going into the Algorand Accelerator. So today there will be the 10 finalist projects which have been picked from the hackathon submissions, who'll be pitching for the top prizes in the hackathon, and we will then go on to the judging, where the judges will go into the breakout rooms and decide on the winners there, and I'll talk a bit about the upcoming Accelerator, and then we'll bring the judges back and we'll announce the prize winners for the 50,000 Algo prize pool. So yeah, this is finale event today. We're going to hear the pitches from the kind of top 10 teams that have been selected, and then we'll have the prize winners. Here's a bit of a small schedule. I'm just going to talk quickly about how the hackathon ran, and also a bit more about Encode Club, and then we will go into the finalist pitches. Each one of those will be around 3 minutes long, and following each pitch, we won't take live questions, but the judges are able to put any questions they have for those teams in the chat, and the teams can then answer them in the chat, just as we don't want to make this whole thing go on for hours. So yeah, and then we'll have, after that, the judges will go into breakout room to kind of do the judging and decide who their order of the finalists, and then we will go into announcing the winners, announcing the prize winners, and yeah, that will be the session today. So just to start off with a bit about Encode Club. So Encode is a community for onboarding talent and educating people, getting them into the blockchain space, getting them learning development, learning other skills, and ultimately either getting people jobs or founding startups in the space. So our community, we work with over 150 universities worldwide, as well as lots of different developer communities, and we help really to try and get people jobs in the space or to get them starting their own startups. The way we do that is through education sessions, such as the Algorand Educate initiative we ran earlier this year. 8 education sessions to learn all about Algorand, the technical aspects, the non-technical aspects, how to get involved in building, and then hackathons such as this one here. This followed on from the education series, so people had a greater understanding of Algorand and developing an Algorand, and have now spent 8 weeks building cool projects. We also do accelerators, which we have one with Algorand coming up shortly after the hackathon, where we take around 10 teams, mentor them for over 10 weeks. We have some more information later in the session all about the accelerators, so I won't go too much about them now. But we do also host AMAs sometimes, which is where we get really cool people from the industry into a Zoom room, let people come along, ask them questions about their career, their thoughts on the future of the space, advice for students and developers. And we've actually even had Sean Lee from the Algorand Foundation here today, who has been an AMA guest for Encode before, a fantastic one at that. And we've also had people such as CZ from Binance, Emin Gunsura from Avalanche, Kane Warwick from Synthetics, and a whole range of those. But I'm sure Omji can put a link in the chat to the Encode AMAs page where you can go and watch them and absorb their wisdom. So alongside that, we do also have a small investment fund for investing into cool startups that come out of our ecosystem. And we do also try and help people to get jobs in this space. And one that isn't on here actually is boot camps, which we've recently started doing, generally taking Web2 developers and giving them some training in Solidity and other Web3 languages to turn them into Web3 developers. We've also worked with a wide range of people in the space. I'm not sure this is entirely up to date, as it always kind of keeps expanding the people we work with. But yeah, you can see there's quite a lot of the big names there, and we like to work with cool protocols doing cool things such as this hackathon right here. A few things that have come out of Encode Club. Reflexer participated in Encode Hackathon and came third, actually, and then have gone on to obviously great success. Euler XYZ, now called Euler Finance, was won an Encode Hackathon and has now gone on to, they raised a small round, and now they've just raised 8 million from Paradigm. So that's fantastic. And also Oxmon's a fantastic generative NFT project, which is actually a few months ago now, by a really smart student at UCSD. And then Float Protocol, which is an algorithmic stablecoin, who also finished third in a hackathon and has gone on to good success. So yeah, I wanted to start off the session really with saying thank you to everyone over at Algorand that has kind of contributed to the hackathon and made it possible. So obviously working closely with Haichao and Adi, and also the social media team over with Ronan and Johanna, and everyone in the Algorand community who's participated in the events and kind of helped us in running this, and also participating in building in the hackathon. But yeah, this is the overview of the program we've been running with Algorand. We're now just coming to the end of the hackathon, going into the Accelerator. And these are the kind of opportunities that we've seen from the hackathon, is becoming an Algorand ambassador, to learn just more about Algorand and developing on Algorand blockchain, getting a job in the Algorand ecosystem, and also to potentially get funding for your project. And one final thing is be sure to join the Encode Club Discord, which is where we have all the kind of community talks. We have lots of the information, such as resources, post events. So we'll be posting the kind of hackathon finale summary and video in the Algorand section of our Discord. And there's also just a cool place to meet like-minded people in the blockchain community. This is the structure of the hackathon: 4 weeks of learning, of workshops, getting people up to speed, and a place where they can definitely build something really cool in the hackathon. And then 4 weeks of building, all about learning about blockchain and building on Algorand. And now we're at the stage where we'll be distributing the 50,000 Algo prize pool, which has gone up in USD value tremendously during the hackathon, which is obviously great for the hackers. This was the schedule. We try and organize mentoring sessions with each of the teams throughout the hackathon. But yeah, now we will move on to the finalist demos. So I believe the first up is Tokility. So if you want to take the floor, guys, and start sharing your screen.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Hi, we're Tokility, and our vision is to enable emergence of secondary economies. We're Marina, a data scientist, and William, a software engineer who is already an Algorand community contributor. We're passionate about blockchain development, and especially about the solution that we're presenting today. In human history, we have witnessed the emergence of various kinds of markets, starting from exchanging rocks to buying digital art. Next to those primary markets, secondary markets emerged. Can you imagine how limited we would be if we cannot resell our assets? And still, not everything can be resold on the secondary market. For instance, we have accepted that we can't resell a conference ticket, a plane ticket, a cinema ticket, even though there is really high demand for this. And this is where Tokility comes in, a platform that gives you certified ownership and a possibility to resell any service that you own. It's an NFT platform built on top of Algorand that allows minting of utility tokens. The utility providers define how their tokens will behave on the secondary market. Within seconds, the tokens can be purchased in the marketplace. Let's see how Tokility works. In the client UI, the utility provider specifies the behavior for the token. This configuration defines the lifecycle of the token on the secondary market. The user specifies the maximum resale price, creator fee, resale duration, etc. Then, the customers can go to the marketplace and purchase the utility tokens from the primary or secondary market. Before purchasing the tickets, they can observe that each ticket has a different behavior configuration. And once the customer has purchased the ticket, if they go in their wallet, they will be able to make a sell offer on the secondary economy. Note that the sell offer must conform to the predefined behavior configuration of the token. In the end, a different customer will be able to purchase the ticket offered on the secondary market. With this, we complete the whole cycle, buying a utility token on the primary market and executing a sell offer on the secondary market. And why would a business choose to issue Tokility tokens? We don't charge for security, transparency, and fraud elimination, which is the main value proposition for our competitors. These features are just the byproducts on the underlying system in Tokility. Our unique value proposition is that we provide a new stream of revenue for the businesses. Every trade on the secondary market provides additional profits that weren't possible before. And why would a customer choose to buy utility tokens? Knowing that you can offer the goods or services that you own gives you the flexibility and freedom in your future decisions. The marketplace gives you the possibility to express the values for the things that you truly care about. Now we're a team of 2. This year, we're looking forward to getting grants to expand our team. Next year, we will launch the MVP, and we plan to start with the early adopters, which are already part of the system, such as a blockchain event. Thank you. We're Tokility, and we enable the emergence of secondary economies.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. So yeah, just a reminder, judges, if you do have any questions for Marina, be sure to put them in the chat. And Marina, if you want to, just keep an eye on that and respond to any of the judges' questions there.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah,
Thank you.
now we will, thank you very much. Now we will move on to our next team, which is TorqueVAT.
Hi, everyone. I'm Stefano. I'm presenting TorqueVAT, which is a decentralized VAT refunds platform for tax-free shopping. So TorqueVAT has been conceived and built by Torquematics, an academic-led business focusing on the implementation of next-generation decentralized services. So the VAT is a tax paid on the purchase of goods. Tourists can claim back the VAT they pay on their personal shopping abroad. So actually, VAT refund is a real-world problem. For instance, in 2019, Global Blue estimated a volume of 36 million of tax-free transactions in the EU, for an equivalent of 18.2 billion of euros spent. The VAT refund, however, is a complex procedure involving several steps and manual and a lot of different actors. There are intermediary companies that try to speed up this process at the cost of higher administrative fees that can charge up until the 30–40% of the refunded VAT. So we propose TorqueVAT, which is a solution based on the Algorand blockchain that removes the intermediaries. It is governed by the VAT coin, which is a fungible token that tourists can use to purchase goods from tax-free retailers. At the time of purchase, the VAT paid by a tourist is locked into an escrow account. Only the custom authority then is entitled to unlock the VAT and refund the tourist. So let's have a demo of our solution. This is the TorqueVAT platform. On the left, we have the dashboard of a user that first of all can buy VAT coins from local tax authorities. The tax authority on its dashboard is entitled to issue the coins to the tourist. When the tourist receives the coin, he can start spending from tax-free retailers. At the time of a payment, the correspective of VAT paid by the tourist is locked into an escrow account. When the tourist wants to claim back the VAT, he needs to notify the custom authorities. On the dashboard, the custom agent can inspect all the transactions spent by a user and then refund the VAT. The refund procedure is then governed by a smart contract that checks whether refunding the tourist or the merchant, according with some conditions. So what's next on our roadmap? We want to take advantage of the accelerator to bring TorqueVAT to production and identify customers like governments and institutions interested in TorqueVAT. We also want to partnership with other Algorand stablecoin projects to implement our VAT coin, and finally develop a mobile application for the VAT coin wallet. So lastly, I want to say that our platform paves the way to a new class of decentralized services in the field of government benefits and tax relief programs. Thank you for the attention. Happy to answer questions.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Stefano. That was fantastic. So yeah, I think, Marina, there's some questions in the chat for you from the judges, and judges feel free to put some questions in the chat as well for Stefano also. Cool. Oh, I think Villagen from the Tokility team has responded to those questions. Cool.
Okay.
So awesome. Let's now move on to Algo Royale.
Welcome, everyone. I'm extremely excited to be sharing our project for the Encode Algorand Hackathon, Algo Royale, a fully decentralized casino built on the Algorand blockchain. My name is Tejas. I'm the smart contract developer, and I'm currently working at IBM Consulting in Hong Kong. Joining me is Nishant, the designer and front-end engineer who's currently freelancing in Australia, and also Khalil, another front-end engineer who's a developer at NetAxis Hong Kong. So with Algo Royale, we wanted to tackle a problem that's faced by virtually every single online casino player, which is the problem of verifying trust. That problem exists because when you interact with an online casino, you don't really know what's going on in the backend. How do you know that that casino won't simply steal your money or refuse to pay you for your winnings? And most importantly, when you spin a roulette wheel or when you roll a dice virtually, How do you know that random outcome is truly random and not generated to put the odds in the casino's favor? And so to tackle these issues, we built Algo Royale, a fully decentralized casino that runs on the Algorand blockchain. Unlike traditional casinos that run in black boxes, Algo Royale runs on smart contracts, which are fair, transparent, and immutable, which means when you play on Algo Royale, you can feel rest assured that every game will be a fair game and you will get the payout that you deserve. And so for this current version, we've built Sigbo, an ancient Chinese game that is popular in Southeast Asian countries. Sigbo is completely luck-based and there's no skill involved whatsoever, because players essentially bet on the outcome of 3 dice rolls. And to show you how it's implemented and other features of Algo Royale, I'd like to bring on Nishant, who will take you through a short video demo.
All right, let's have a look at the game interface. We have 3 games here, Blackjack, Roulette, and of course, Sigbo. So for now, we'll focus on the latter one. Sigbo is a simple game. The board shows all possible outcomes of the dice that the player can bet on. The player decides what outcome to bet on, and then the interface shows the potential outcome for the bet. Once the bet is submitted, the application rolls the dice. And oh, look, the player has just won their bet. Let's say a player wants to customize their visual experience and show it off to the rest of the world. In this case, the player buys an NFT from our marketplace and uses it to change the appearance of the Sigbo board. Look at that. Isn't that exciting? Well, back to you, Tejas.
So the features that you just saw Nishant explain were implemented using the technologies you can see on screen. We use the Algorand stateful smart contract and Algorand standard assets. And speaking about the future of our project, we want to be accepted into the Encode Accelerator for mentorship. And we also want to continue developing our product in 3 key areas. Firstly, we want to transition to verifiable random numbers to further increase the transparency of the gaming experience. Secondly, we want to supplement the cosmetic NFTs with NFTs that actually change the game's outcome. And finally, we also want to introduce other popular casino games such as Blackjack and Roulette. And with that, we conclude our presentation. We hope you enjoyed listening, and we would be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Tejas and Nishant. Nice presentation. Cool. Any questions for Tejas and Nishant? Feel free to pop them in chat. And now we will move on to Conrad with Algo Cornhole.
So Algorand Cryptocornhole by me, Conrad. So me in a nutshell, I have an electrical engineering degree from UCSD. I am a blockchain and IoT enthusiast. I have 2 decades of experience in embedded systems. I co-founded a medical startup in the Bay Area. I hold 3 patents in wearables, and I also do embedded security for the DoD. And I'm currently working with NASA doing wearable sensors. And most importantly of all, I love craft beer. So I will introduce you to what is Crypto Cornhole. So I took Cornhole and made it entirely a new experience. I took the standard backyard classic, automated detection of the beanbags, added lights and sounds to make the whole thing exciting, and a smart contract betting system to raise the stakes. This is just a prototype, but I think the concept is clear. The game is entirely natural. The experience can't get any more immersive. It's literally taking place in the real world. But even then, it's not restricted to a single location. The same technology could even scale to a global audience. Think of an international championship. All it takes is to make this happen is more than an embedded sensor platform, some LEDs, speakers, and an Algorand smart contract underneath the hood. I truly believe this is the next rising technology of smart contracts. I think there's a whole world of unreleased potential lying below the surface that hasn't even been realized yet. And Blockyard Games is my own humble attempt to crack at the surface and show the world what can be done. And as you can see, I'm playing cornhole with my brother, and as we're throwing beanbags and cornhole into the game, there's transactions happening on the network, and it's actually doing a pretty cool job. In a little bit, you can see the results, submitted transactions, and the local log of the score of the game. Feature implementation is a QR code scanner to do play registration. So from there, like, where do we go from here? Well, Blockyard Games is a way for me to use smart contracts and IoT to monetize the classical physical games. Think skee ball, think electronic basketball, think shuffleboard. Now imagine it's ubiquitous, cashless, trackable, tactile, and it's secure. This can expand to many games using Algorand. I pursued this because it's fun. I wanted to do a hackathon. It's my first, and it combines a number of things I'm passionate about. I wanted to bring fun and innovative ideas to life into the blockchain, and making a startup of this would be a dream come true. So from prototype to clean product, a QR code registration would be really important. Improved bag placement detection would be good, and a streamlined dashboard interface for mobile devices. And from there, I kind of wrap it up. And thanks for considering me. Honored to be a finalist, and happy to answer any questions.
Fantastic. Thanks a lot, Conrad, and great hat as well.
Thanks.
Cool. So that was really good. Any questions for Conrad in the chat? Feel free to pop them there. And next we will move on to ANS, which is the Algorand naming service. So Sai and Lily, if you want to share your screen and go ahead.
Hello, everyone. This is Team ANS, and we present a decentralized naming service on Algorand. Quick intro about our team members. I'm Sai Meduri, a PhD candidate majoring in computational science at the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga.
And I am Lalit Meduri, a senior undergraduate majoring in computer science and engineering from India.
So here's why we set out to develop decentralized naming service on Algorand. First of all, void addresses are hard to remember. Secondly, Algorand users should be able to register names using their Algorand wallets instead of having to rely on other cryptocurrencies. And thirdly, human-friendly names enhance the user experience by multifold. During the design phase of our development, we had to overcome a major technical challenge involving storage limitations in Algorand smart contract. We decided to limit namespace to 6 characters, and we designed a customized hash function for namespace partitioning and constant time lookup.
We used PyTeal to design the smart contract for naming service, which is open source and available for community on GitHub. To serve the users, we built a website using React.js and AlgoSigner wallet. And for the dApp developers, we developed and published a Node.js package for easy integration with custom applications. Let us take a look at a quick demo. To begin with, users must connect their AlgoSigner wallet and grant access to the application. And in the home screen, they see the features that are currently supported in this prototype. To register a name, they can search for the availability of the name, and if it is available, they can go ahead and purchase the domain by signing and sending the transaction to the network. And once the transaction is confirmed, they see that the domain is successfully registered. And they can then go to the search tab to search for domains that are registered and the information regarding domains. And when they click on send funds, they see the wallet address of the owner automatically being filled. And the transfer funds module utilizes the Node.js package that we built during the hackathon, which resolves names to Algorand wallet addresses, as you can see in the highlighted section of the AlgoSigner application. Now, all they have to do is sign and send the transaction to the network. And when it is confirmed, they can click on the transaction ID to check the transaction in the block explorer. So this was a quick demo of ANS.
For next steps, we plan to apply for the Encode Algorand Accelerator to seek funding for the next phase of our prototyping. We have a list of planned features before releasing on mainnet, including longer names than 6 characters and auction for popular names to avoid name squatting.
Thank you all for your time and attention, and we'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, guys. That's really good. Cool. Next up, we will have ALPOS.
Hi, everyone. My name is MG. I'm a technology architect as well as a developer. And together with my wife, we are bringing you ALPOS. I have a focus on APIs, backend, blockchain, and data. And she has a focus on front-end UI and UX. With ALPOS, which is a point of service, we are going to address a problem and solve it, which is a complex network between the end producers, farmers, and localized micro producers to consumers, which will refer to those retailers for purchase of the goods. Complexity and ambiguity of these networks between these two ends will actually create mal economies and bad kind of economies, and actually the flows which cannot be beneficial and cannot create the actual growth, and will lead only to growth of the bigger players and shrink of the micro local players. And in order to address that, the solution is based on a trustless, permissionless, secure, and sustainable blockchain, which is Algorand, together with the app combination of sets of linked smart contract, application stateful smart contracts, and escrow accounts in order to facilitate and govern all of these flow and the workflow between them. The technology used in order to provide this is the Algorand as the blockchain and the general ledger in general, and the Elasticsearch stack for the storage of the data, IPFS for document storage, and the droplets or DigitalOcean for backend proxy services, and Cloudflare for front-end hosting and the pages on front end. The goal would be to create and empower some economy which can empower micro, local, and green retail economies instead of the current situation that we are witnessing. And the roadmap we are following is hopefully to get a grant or investment from Algorand Foundation, Borders Capital, or one of those heroes over there who are enabling the community, and to develop and complete ALPOS in order to make it ready for mainnet stage and global production launch, and join forces with Authentium, Fame, and other communities to make a difference. So we thank you, everyone. These are the QR codes to GitHub repository and live version of ALPOS over the internet. Any question, I will answer it. Thank you so much.
Awesome, really good, MG. Thanks for that. And next we will be moving on to Algomond, which is an NFT card game.
So, hi, we're presenting the Algomond NFT project. My name is Paul. I'm studying product design engineering, and with me today is Josh, studying math. We are a team of two friends from college. We're both students located in the UK in our final year of university. I'm working on the design of the project, and Josh is working on the programming. So what is Algomond? Algomond is an NFT trading cards video game themed around magic and spooky monsters. It's being built using the Algorand blockchain and the Unity game engine. Usually, in-game purchases of assets do not hold value for the player, and any money spent on a video game is virtually lost. With Algomond, the game assets really belong to the gamers. NFTs have limited supply and are exchangeable on the public marketplace. And the video game we are building gives Algomond NFTs a use case where most NFTs today have none. And on to Josh for the demo.
This footage shows the work we have done so far on the video game. The first step is to connect the cards in the player's wallet with the game using the wallet address. The player then builds a deck of 12 cards from these assets with 8 monsters and 4 spells. Next, we launch a game against an AI for demo purposes, as I am currently working on the online multiplayer using the Unity Mirror plugin. It's a 1v1 game. The players summon monsters, play spells, and then attack each other all at the same time. The rules are fairly simple, so that it's a low barrier to entry and easy to play on mobile. The rules are available on our website, algomond.com. Once the game is released, we have plans for implementing tournaments, ranked matchmaking, and in-game rewards. Our focus has been on the mechanics so far, and we'll be moving on to graphics and polish once the core of the game is done. We'll be using smart contracts for purchasing random packs of cards on the website. This code is a demo on Algorand's testnet, and we will need to integrate it on our website.
Since June 2021, we've also been building a community to gather interest around the project. We have a website, algomond.com, a Twitter page, and an active group chat on Telegram. The NFT cards are all custom made, and they're all available for purchase on Rand Gallery. The next milestones for the project are to release the beta for the game by the end of the year, to work on a new website where there is the possibility for users to purchase cards as cards pack, and to keep working on new Algomond cards designs. And to accelerate the development of the project, we would like to apply and participate in funding opportunities such as the Encode Club Accelerator and the Algorand Grant. Thank you for listening. This was an overview of the Algomond NFT project, what we have built so far and what we are planning to build in the future.
Awesome, guys. Can't wait to be able to play it. Looking forward to that very much. Next up, we'll stay on the gaming theme, which is going over to zCircuit, which is a racing game on Algorand.
I am Chip Thien, and with me that you just heard there is Devin Kaiser. We are software engineers in St. Louis, Missouri. We've been working together for a combined 12 years of professional experience. We specialize in the agile development of distributed systems for the US military. We've been interested in blockchain development, including participation in multiple hackathons since 2017. All right. Now you know a bit about us, let's talk about the project we've developed for this hackathon. zCircuit is a provably fair play-to-earn race prediction game. Players gather information and analyze an upcoming race in order to place a bet on who they think will win. Race outcomes are determined using provably fair game logic, and the players who made a winning prediction are paid out proportionally. And Devin is going to show you a quick demo.
All right, hello everyone, and welcome to zCircuit. As a zCircuit player, you're playing a game of analysis, attempting to determine the race winner of the live race. There are many attributes you'll need to consider, including the track, the weather, drivers, and their cars. The relationship between all these attributes will be used to simulate a race while being realistic. For example, things like soft tires will perform better on curvier tracks. All the relationships are outlined as you saw in the help menu. When you're ready to place a wager, you may need to log in for the first time by connecting an Algorand wallet. We currently have support for MyAlgo, which enables both mobile and desktop play. You will have to opt into each race, after which you can place your bet by selecting a racer and configuring your wager. Now, I'm all set for this race, but let's check out a race where the winner has already been declared and I won. On this race, I can see some information about my wager and my portion of the winnings. I won almost 3 algos, which was about 3 times my initial wager. Now, ideally, when a race is finished, you as a player want to experience the excitement and the tension of the races. So we can watch races to see who won and track our car, hopefully, to the finish line. Every race is a unique experience, from the procedurally generated track to the tense moments watching the racers. So be sure to watch your races to get the full zCircuit experience.
All right, cool. Thank you, Devin. Here's our tech stack. The summary of our technical paper is that bets are submitted on-chain, the provably fair game logic is ran off-chain, and then the result of the game is set back on-chain so that winners can withdraw. Our goal is to make an extremely fun, exciting, and engaging game on Algorand. We want to see players owning their own cars as NFTs, which they can use to compete against other players, breed better cars, and level up their cars to increase performance. You may be familiar with these concepts from other NFT games, such as Zrun or Axie Infinity on Ethereum. To continue development, we want to join the Encode Algorand Accelerator and later apply for an Algorand Foundation grant. All right, that was zCircuit. We are live on testnet, and you can start playing today at zcircuit.app. Thanks for listening, and feel free to ask us any questions in the chat. Devin and I will be watching. Thank you.
Awesome. Really nice one there, guys. I was enjoying watching the race. Cool. It was almost as good as the F1 this weekend. Cool. So next we will go on to 2i.
For this presentation, I want you to use your imagination. Imagine a world where you can talk to the exact person you need to, instantly. Maybe you have an exam tomorrow and need a tutor. Maybe you are just lonely and need someone to talk to. Imagine a world where everyone has value. Welcome to 2i2i, the mind market, where anyone can bid to have a live video call with anyone else. This market is based on Algorand. Using cutting-edge smart contracts, you can bid to have a live video call with whomever, and we never touch the coins. Zero credit risk. We don't even care which coins you use. Any user can opt in the system into any Algorand standard asset whilst keeping the system lossless, meaning protected against spam attacks. The live video call is end-to-end encrypted and peer-to-peer, making it fully private and scalable. Also, realize that 2i2i will allow people to show off their true value. Remember, it's a market. What do people think your information is worth? Celebrities will share their, apologies, I'm getting mixed up here. Okay. Celebrities will share their 2i QR code with their fans to bid for their time. With 2i2i, almost everyone in the world can earn coins safely from home just by talking. It's like the Uber of talking. The system is ready for scale thanks to a lot of amazing tech. And since the Encode submission, we have already updated to Teal 5, which simplified our design greatly, using inner transactions and an escrow built into a smart contract. In the future, we will allow other wallets to connect to the app, and we will improve the UI. And that brings us to our hopes and dreams. We would like to raise as many funds as possible to bring this value add to as many people as possible, thereby also bringing Algorand mainstream. Thank you. 2i2i was made by Solly, the designer, and me, Imi, a mathematician and computer engineer. If you want to know more about us, we have made CVs, or better yet, head over to 2i2i.app and talk to us on the app. Thank you.
Awesome. Cheers, guys. Really good. Thank you very much for that. Any questions for 2i2i, feel free to put them in the chat. Next up, we'll have Algoracle.
All right, welcome to presenting Algorand's very own Oracle service, Algoracle. So we actually have built this sports betting tracker, and we want to include a decentralized sports book on this application by summer 2020. We actually started building this prototype for this hackathon, but we realized we needed an Oracle service to get the information on chain, so we pivoted halfway through. Sports data is complex and time sensitive, so we figured if we can create a secure and fast Oracle for sports betting, we should generalize it in order to build a robust community of fee providers. The team is myself, founder of Gesic. We are a strategic consulting and software development firm. We've also got George Jaguna, CEO of Veneza Telecom, and our very own Ajay Goel, lead mobile developer, and Jason Booker, who's built Chainlink external adapters and has been a great resource in figuring out the architecture. So quick demo of the app, you can go to algoracle.web.app to test it out. If you want to read from any of these feeds, simply take the contract number into your dApp and read the application's global state. On the testnet here, you can see it's reporting about every 30 or 40 seconds, and that's pretty much how that works. They're all on the same contract right now, but eventually they'll all be on the same, their own contracts. This is where things are different from Chainlink is you can see here, we have two oracles reporting and their addresses. We can see each of their submissions, and we can see what it's like. So I only have two endpoints set up, so I'll remove one first, and then I'll show you how we can become one. So the way it works is basically to become an Oracle, you set up an endpoint which returns the data in a specific format. So here you see immediately. And this is the format that your endpoint should respond in. Here you can see a test endpoint that I created for the purpose of this hackathon. And then you submit your endpoint, you connect your Algorand account. Normally there'd be a deposit, rewards. We did not think of any of that for the purpose of this hackathon. And you'll notice here, the next time it goes to aggregate, there'll be 2 oracles reporting. And if you take a look there, any moment now, you can see, there you go, there's 2 oracles reporting. And that's really just how it works. As whatever APIs are currently submitted, it'll call them, aggregate them on chain, and put the median value on chain, which is similar to how Chainlink does it. Considering we'll be a consumer of this Oracle service, we studied Chainlink, who probably has the best price feeds right now, and looked at what we can copy and if there's anything we can improve on. One pain point for us was that all their sports betting feeds on their market were single source, and we need our Oracle to be as decentralized as possible. So by design, all feeds are always going to be multiple independent sources, which means we have to lower the barrier of entry. So you set up an API as we showed, and you submit that endpoint to the Algoracle node, which takes care of the aggregation. And we use algo tokens throughout the network. We don't want to work with multiple tokens. So moving forward, by early November, we want to create documentation for feed providers on setting up endpoints. We want to build out the Algoracle node to pull data and send it on chain, running 24/7 distributedly. By early December, we hope to onboard multiple types of feeds and at least 20 sources for each feed. We want to be operational on mainnet by late December so we can focus on building our sportsbook. As we neared completion for this hackathon, the Oracle Super Grants was announced. We would like some kind of funding to help us finish up the remaining work. Our ultimate goal for this is to create open source and decentralized as possible. Here's the tech stack. Let me know any questions. Shout out to the Reach team, who have been an amazing resource throughout this whole process. The APIs we use are simply 12 and CoinMarketCap, and these are the weather APIs we use. And yeah, that's about it for the presentation. Let me know if you have any questions on any of that.
That was really good, Abdul. Fantastic, nice graphics as well. So judges, I think it'd be good if we could do the questions for any questions for Abdul live, just as I sort out the breakout rooms, which I will do now. So any questions for Abdul?
When do you plan on actually spending a lot of time into the economics of the entire system? See that you focus on the tech, but making sure that slashing or rewarding or incentives are actually done correctly. When do you plan on doing that?
That's we plan to do that in parallel as we build up the documentation for feed providers. We already have an idea, so you deposit a certain amount of algos. For example, if your data is just invalid, maybe 5 times in a row, you get kicked off. If your standard deviation is off by 1, you probably get like 4 more chances to submit before getting kicked off and maybe slashed. If your standard deviation is way off, like let's say the price of algos is 2 and you report 100, you get booted off immediately and you get penalized. So that's something we're working on in parallel right now as we create the documentation for the feed providers.
I see that you record every 30 seconds. Is that on par with what Chainlink does, or is it better?
If I remember correctly, Chainlink does about every few minutes, if I remember correctly. So it probably could be a lot faster than how Chainlink does it. I think we're only limited by how fast we can pull the data, aggregate it, and ultimately the block speed of Algorand. We had it running at one point every 7 seconds. But of course, we just have 2 feeds right now. I can imagine if we have 20 feeds, we're pulling each one. If any of them is slow, we don't really wait. So ultimately, we want 10 to 20 seconds eventually. That's kind of a baseline. What prevents errant spamming of endpoints? Spamming, or I'm not sure if that's, is there a GitHub or white paper for this project? No white paper. That's what we're trying to work on right now. What prevents spamming of endpoints? So if an endpoint, it's supposed to be decentralized. So if you submit an endpoint and the values are not matching what was already submitted, it'll eventually get kicked off. So you might be wondering, how do you know what other values are or if they're valid or not. I think the first 15 feeds, we want to create them ourselves. And then eventually, as one feed comes on, we take one off. One comes on, we take one off, until eventually we have no more feeds live. Maybe have one feed to kind of help with baselining. These are some of the things that we're still working on, but we eventually want to have it moved off and completely open source and decentralized. So yeah. Contesting of data for endpoints. No, we haven't looked at that. Access, nice. Let me know if there's any other live questions. I know there's a lot of comments. I'm not sure if they're all directed to me, so I won't read them anymore.
Yeah, I think Russell was asking for the zCircuit access to the Google document, because I think the link you might have sent was a private link. Yeah, any other questions for Abdul? Otherwise, I can add the judges into the breakout room. Awesome. Yeah, great work to everyone. There were some fantastic presentations. Cool to see what everyone had built during the hackathon. So now, as the judges are in the judging room, I'm just going to talk a bit about the accelerator. So yeah, following this hackathon, we'll be doing a 10-week accelerator in partnership with Algorand. So the goal is to take around 10 projects into the accelerator, and over the 10 weeks, we'll give them some mentorship every week. So there'll be weekly group sessions. Generally, kind of everyone from each team attends those, and we'll have either ourselves doing some speaking about things such as things such as like product market fit. Maybe our designer usually comes along and gives a cool session on design work. Additionally, there is usually external speakers such as external speakers such as say the last accelerator we ran, which was in partnership with Avalanche. We had some people from QuantStamp come in to talk about security audits, how they work, how to make life easy for the auditor so that your audit goes quickly and goes well. Tips on kind of things to look out for when building your contracts from a security point of view as well. And also often people from, I imagine, the Algorand team, probably the dev team, people from the marketing team as well, talking about the Algorand ecosystem, and some projects from the Algorand ecosystem talking about kind of how to make sure you're successful in developing an Algorand, but also growing with the Algorand community. So let me show you the website now. But yeah, at the end of it, there will be a pitch session to prominent VCs in the space, as well as the Algorand Grant Committee for people wanting to raise grants. And yeah, we also do one-to-one mentoring sessions each week, where we kind of just try and help provide support, maybe some advice on the direction of the product or project that you're building, as well as helping to connect you with the right people to ask any more complex questions. Cool. Let me share the actual website. So here's the website, which is live now. I can pop the link in the chat for everyone. Cool. And yes, so this is the website. You can check it out now. I just put the link to the website in the chat. The applications are open, but they'll be open for a couple of weeks. So there's no rush to do it today, but yeah, I mean, the earlier the better when you get a chance to sit down and go for it properly. But it's open to everyone around the world. We'll try and do the sessions at a time that works for the most people that are accepted into the accelerator. Obviously, that can be difficult because generally we have teams from West Coast USA all the way to India, China, Singapore. So sometimes the hours can be a bit difficult, but we try and make it work for everyone. And then also the weekly mentoring sessions, we can do them at a time that is suitable for you guys. So that's the structure, all done online on Zoom. You can also see a couple of the links to previous accelerators we've done here, one with Algorand back in 2020, and also one with Thundercore in 2020 as well. But the Avalanche one isn't linked here, but that happened in early 2021. So yeah, how it works. Accelerating your project, weekly one-on-one sessions, and a general workshop. There's a small stipend for each team, just for kind of participating, for covering any costs. It might not be exactly 4K British pounds. We're just still confirming that, but that will be confirmed in the article, which will go out next week as well. Yeah, we help with everything we can: technical product, building, design, fundraising strategy, grant strategy, anywhere that we can help, we'll try and help. And we also obviously have our own investment fund for investing into any projects which we really like at the end of the accelerator. And we do get the kind of mentors, leading people in the space to come in and help talk to the accelerator participants. These are some workshops. It won't exactly be this schedule, but usually roughly similar. And we also usually have AMAs with often investors in the space who come in and talk to you about fundraising, especially because it can be kind of quite a big change for anyone that hasn't gone through a fundraising round before, understanding a bit more about the structure, how long it takes, the legal due diligence and everything around that. So those are usually really good sessions. So yeah, people can take part. Generally need to have already kind of be building a project, and you've got to a stage where you think your product's pretty good, but you want to improve it and take it to the next stage, becoming a startup. So anyone can really participate. We highly encourage anyone that participates in the hackathon as well to participate in the accelerator. Next is the application form. Pretty basic: names, emails, names and emails of your team, your background, describe what your project is, attach any documentation such as a demo, website, video that you would like us to look at in considering your application, and also why you want to join the accelerator, really. Then just linking your LinkedIn's, GitHub's, anything that you think would help us to make a good decision about your project. So that is the project. We can have a look actually at the project which we're in the last Algorand accelerator here. This was, I think, our first accelerator that we run, and we think, oh no, it's the second one. It was just before I joined. So you can see there some of the participants in the accelerator. You can also see Russ there, who was helping doing some mentorship in that accelerator as well. And yeah, this was followed on from a hackathon in which Algorand was sponsored as well, similar to this, and it kind of had an AMA with Sean Lee, as I mentioned earlier there. And these are the teams that participated. Some of these have gone on to kind of great success, and even if it isn't with this project, a lot of them have gone on to other projects and continued building in the Algorand ecosystem as well. QVote, which is really cool, quadratic voting platform that we often use sometimes for our hackathon finale voting when we have an audience vote. Unfortunately, we don't have it set up today, but it's a very cool one. We also have Footium, which is a football management NFT game, which is still being built, and I think they're releasing soon. Can you Simon Lalif participated in the last one, and are now finalists in this hackathon, and a few others as well that have gone on to great success. So yeah, that's pretty much the Encode Algorand Accelerator. Awesome.
Are all the judges back?
Let me just check. I think the room gives them 60 seconds.
Yeah,
but
I think we all got kicked back in.
Amazing. Well, cool. Thank you very much for firstly for being judges as well. I know it's quite a hard job having to decide between all the finalists, but thank you very much to all of the judges we've got today: Sean, Chris, Jason, Adi, and Hai Chao.
And so, Jason let us be joined as a impromptu actual judge.
Oh, did I add the wrong Jason?
You added both Jasons. It worked perfectly.
Oh, amazing. Well, I'm glad it wasn't just a randomer. Cool. So I believe that Hai Chao is going to be announcing the prize winners. So Hai Chao, I don't know if you want to take it away. We can maybe go in, whatever order you'd like.
Sure. Just before I announce, I just want to say I was already blown away when I saw the full list of all the submissions. But hearing you guys doing the pitches, the presentations, it's already like Christmas to me. So just no matter what prizes you get at the end, just don't give up. And we still have an accelerator program in the upcoming days. Still join it, and the perfect. Just complete your projects, and we will have more rewards at the end of that. So I'm not sure if you have talked about the prizes yet, but we will have 3 tiers of prize for this hackathon. We will have a gold prize for one team, and the rewards would be 10,000 algos. And the silver prize for 2 teams each will have 8,000 algos for each teams. And there will be a bronze prize for 4 teams, and each team will get 5,000 of algos. Yeah, I guess this is it. I'm gonna announce the winners. let me start with the second place. All right, I want to do a bit. So the second place winners are zCircuit and ANS. Yeah, okay, just hearing my own applause. It's not awkward. And the third prize, the bronze prize, third place, 2i Algomond. I'm not sure how to pronounce this. Cornhole and ALPOS from MG. Congratulations, MG. So we still have a first prize, the gold prize, which this team is gonna win 10,000 Algos, and that team is Algoracle.
Congratulations, Algor.
Yay!
It's amazing.
So yeah, I think I can save some time for our other judges, our other participants to talk about their feelings and to make some comments. So if Sean or Eddie wants to say something, feel free to take my mic.
Yeah, this is Sean. Maybe I'll say a couple of few words. So first of all, I echo what Haichao and many others have mentioned. I think it's great to see all of you, especially many of you turning your camera on. I appreciate that. I'll tell you that in person. But I think at the same time, look, the applications are very interesting. I'm surprised at some of the use cases, especially some of the ones that's got some gamification angles to it. I personally love them quite a bit. But I think this is, guys, treat this as guys and gals. I got to be correct there. But treat this as a beginning journey, right, onto what you will be doing in Algorand. There are many opportunities in which you can either look into continuing to help the ecosystem build up further infrastructure and tooling capabilities, or you can bring some very interesting, practical use cases that can have many users participating on Algorand. Both of those are very important to us, and I'm just really glad to see the innovative, ideas that you have, the work that you've put in, and very, just as impressed I was with the presentations that you guys made, right? They kind of range from a variety of different applications and ideas. Some of them may be a little bit far-fetched than others, but I loved it, right? That's what these hackathons are really all about. This is where you test out your ideas. But I wanted to tell you that there are many other avenues that you can continue your journey with the Encode Club and also with the Algorand Foundation. So thank you very much. Really glad to see all of you, and good job.
Yeah, sorry, Haichao again. I just want to say that I forgot one thing. So there are still 3 teams that doesn't have any rewards in the list and announced there. So we will still give you 500 Algos each team. Just consider this as a development fee for you to deploy a contract or send any transactions on the mainnet and continue the development of your project and make it to the accelerator. All right, thank you.
Awesome.
George, I'll just say 2 words. Thank you everyone for joining and being part of it. Some amazing projects in general. I want to say a big thank you to Algorand for all their support, which most of you don't actually see kind of beneath the surface, but they've been incredible partners with us. They are one of our kind of earliest partners we've ever had, and I don't think I'd get in any trouble for saying our absolute favorite partners as well. So thank you so much, Haichao in particular, for all your support with this, and to all our judges today. It was actually a really, really nice, probably the nicest judging room we've had, and some fantastic discussion. And a big thank you also to the Reach team, who behind the scenes have been massive helps with this. I know a lot of you have built your applications using Reach. So thank you to Chris and all the Reach team as well for all your help and support with this hackathon. And again, big thank you to Algorand for supporting us, and looking forward to the accelerator next.
Awesome. Yeah, I think that pretty much brings us to the end today. So if all of the prize winners, I've just put in the chat as well, the teams that came fourth, and also if you scroll up, there's the first, second, and third team places. But we'll do a post on the Discord channel as well, just after this, as well as produce a Medium article that should come out either tomorrow or the day after. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today. Thanks everyone again, all the participants in the hackathon, everyone that came along to the education series, all the people that did the workshops as well. I saw Jason and Russ here today as well as Ryan, and also to the judges, and hi Chao and Adi for helping on the organizational side, and Ronan and Johanna for help with the marketing. But yeah, thanks everyone. Be sure to stay in the community, to apply for the accelerator, and we'll see you again soon.